The galaxy was vast, filled with billions of stars, planets, and mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Among all these worlds, Earth was just a tiny dot, a pale blue sphere orbiting a medium-sized star at the edge of the Milky Way. For most of its existence, Earth had gone unnoticed by the rest of the universe. Humans were busy building civilizations, fighting wars, and dreaming about space without realizing they weren't alone. But everything changed on one fateful day when something extraordinary happened. Not because humanity reached out, but because someone else found them. It started quietly, almost too quietly. People around the world noticed strange lights flickering across the night sky. At first, no one paid much attention. Some thought it was auroras caused by solar flares. Others believed it might be satellites or maybe even UFOs, though few took that idea seriously. After all, aliens were supposed to be science fiction, not reality. Life went on as usual, until the power went out. One moment, cities buzzed with activity. Cars honked, streetlights glowed, and smartphones pinged with notifications. The next moment, darkness fell like a heavy curtain. Power grids failed everywhere at the same time. Elevators stopped mid-floor, hospitals switched to backup generators, and airplanes scrambled to land safely. Communication networks collapsed, leaving people isolated and afraid. No radio signals, no internet, no TV broadcasts. Humanity had been plunged into silence. Panic spread quickly. In living rooms, families huddled together, staring out windows at skies now illuminated by eerie, green and purple lights. On streets, crowds gathered, pointing upward as massive shapes began to appear in the clouds. These weren't planes or meteors. They were ships. Gigantic, otherworldly vessels hovering silently above cities, their surfaces shimmering with alien technology. They looked like machines built for war, bristling with weapons and glowing with ominous energy. The invaders called themselves the Zorathians, though humans wouldn't learn that name until later. To the terrified population below, they were simply the aliens. Through crude transmissions broadcast globally, the Zorathians declared their intentions. Earth belonged to them now. Its resources, water, minerals, even human labor, would serve their empire. Resistance, they warned, would mean annihilation. No one knew how to respond. Governments tried to organize defenses, but their missiles and fighter jets seemed laughably outdated compared to the advanced technology overhead. Military bases were disabled before they could launch counterattacks. Leaders debated whether surrender was the only option. Meanwhile, ordinary people prayed, cried, or prepared to fight back however they could. Fear gripped the planet like never before. But then, amidst the chaos, something incredible happened. From deep within Earth's atmosphere, a single ship emerged. Sleek and black, it rose slowly into view, dwarfed by the towering alien fleet above. Its design was unlike anything seen before. Sharp angles, glowing seams, and an aura of quiet menace. There were no markings to identify who owned it or where it came from, yet despite its small size, it radiated power. The Zorathians noticed immediately. Their commanders laughed among themselves, amused by this unexpected challenge. One ship against hundreds of theirs? It seemed absurd. Still, curiosity got the better of them. They scanned the newcomer, trying to determine its purpose. Was it some primitive attempt at resistance? Or perhaps a decoy meant to distract them while humans plotted something bigger? Whatever the case, the mysterious ship didn't wait for answers. Without hesitation, it positioned itself directly between the alien fleet and Earth. Then, in perfect galactic standard, the universal language used by countless species across the galaxy, it sent a message. Leave now. The simplicity of the warning stunned everyone. How did humanity know galactic standard? More importantly, why did this lone vessel dare to stand against an entire empire? The Zorathians dismissed it as a bluff. They assumed the ship was unmanned, a desperate ploy by a frightened species clinging to hope. Convinced of their own superiority, they decided to teach this upstart a lesson. Swarm after swarm of Zorathian fighters descended toward the mysterious ship, surrounding it like predators circling prey. Energy beams lashed out, attempting to cripple it. Missiles streaked through the air, exploding in bursts of fire. But the human craft moved with impossible speed and precision. It twisted and turned, dodging every attack as if predicting the enemy's moves. When it finally retaliated, the results were devastating. Beams of light shot forth from its cannons, slicing through Zorathian fighters like paper. Within seconds, dozens of ships were obliterated, reduced to burning wreckage that rained down upon the atmosphere. People on Earth watched in awe. Live footage streamed illegally via hacked satellite feeds showed the battle unfolding in real time. Social media lit up with reactions ranging from disbelief to elation. Who controlled this ship? Where did it come from? And why had it waited until now to reveal itself? Despite the unanswered questions, one thing was clear. Humanity wasn't defenseless after all. Someone or something was fighting for them. As the lone ship continued to hold its ground, fear gave way to hope. For the first time since the invasion began, people dared to believe they might survive. The Zorathians, however, weren't ready to admit defeat. If anything, their arrogance grew stronger. This single ship was nothing more than an annoyance, they reasoned. Surely it couldn't withstand the full force of their armada. Little did they know this was only the beginning. Unbeknownst to both sides, the truth behind the mysterious ship lay hidden beneath miles of ice in Antarctica. Decades earlier, during the height of the Cold War, several nations had secretly collaborated on a project codenamed Stellar Sentinel. Designed as Earth's ultimate defense mechanism against extraterrestrial threats, the Sentinel was built using stolen alien technology recovered from crashed spacecraft over the years. Buried underground and forgotten by most, it remained dormant until sensors detected the Zorathian fleet entering Earth's orbit. Activated automatically, the Sentinel had risen to protect its creators. Controlled by an advanced artificial intelligence programmed to adapt and evolve, the ship operated independently, analyzing the enemy's tactics and countering them with unmatched efficiency. Its crew consisted entirely of drones piloted remotely by the AI, ensuring no human lives were put at risk. Though vastly outnumbered, the Sentinel fought with relentless determination, holding the line while humanity struggled to regroup. For the Zorathians, the situation grew increasingly frustrating. Every attempt to destroy the Sentinel ended in failure. Rumors spread among their ranks. Was this some kind of ancient relic left behind by a long-lost civilization? Or was humanity hiding secrets far beyond what anyone imagined? Admiral Vrax, leader of the invasion fleet, refused to believe either possibility. He ordered his best pilots to take down the rogue ship, but none returned. Panic rippled through the fleet as whispers of retreat echoed among the crew. Back on Earth, the battle served as a turning point. Inspired by the Sentinel's bravery, people rallied together, determined to support their mysterious defender. Scientists worked tirelessly to reactivate abandoned defense systems, while ordinary citizens formed grassroots movements to aid survivors and resist occupation. Though the outcome of the conflict remained uncertain, one thing was undeniable. Humanity had found its spark again. And so, as the lone ship continued to defy the odds, it became more than just a machine. It became a symbol of hope. A reminder that even in the darkest moments, courage and ingenuity could shine through. Whatever challenges lay ahead, humanity would face them head-on, united by the knowledge that they weren't alone in their fight. This completes Part 1. Setting. The stage for the rest of the story. Let me know if you'd like me to proceed with the next parts. The Zorathians were not used to losing. For centuries, their empire had expanded across the galaxy, conquering weaker species and claiming resources without resistance. Their massive fleet of warships was unmatched in size and firepower, striking fear into anyone who dared oppose them. But now, for the first time in their history, they faced an enemy that defied all logic, a single ship standing alone against hundreds of theirs. It made no sense. How could one vessel hold its ground so effectively? And why did it seem to know exactly what it was doing? Admiral Vrax, leader of the invasion fleet, paced the bridge of his flagship, his sharp claws clicking against the metallic floor. His golden eyes glowed with frustration as he replayed footage of the battle over and over again. Each time, the result was the same: the mysterious human ship dodging every attack, retaliating with devastating precision, and leaving destruction in its wake. Dozens of Zorathian fighters had already been destroyed, their pilots either killed or captured, yet the enemy ship showed no signs of damage. Its shields held firm and its weapons never missed their mark. "This is impossible," muttered Commander Trelk, a senior officer standing beside Vrax. "No primitive species could develop technology like this, not in such a short time." Vrax growled low in his throat, a sound that sent shivers down Trelk's spine. "Primitive or not, we cannot afford to underestimate them. Whatever this ship is, it poses a threat to our mission." "But, sir," Trelk hesitated, choosing his words carefully. "Shouldn't we retreat and regroup? We've lost too many ships already. This thing, it's unnatural." "No," Vrax snapped, slamming his fist onto the control panel. Sparks flew, and nearby crew members flinched. "Retreat is not an option. If word gets out that we were defeated by a single ship, the Empire will lose face. Our enemies will see us as weak. I will not allow that to happen." Trelk nodded nervously, stepping back to avoid further angering his superior. He knew better than to argue with Vrax when he was in this mood. The Admiral was known for his ruthless determination and his refusal to accept failure. Still, Trelk couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. This wasn't just a battle, it felt like a test. And the longer they fought, the more it seemed like they were the ones being tested. Meanwhile, on Earth, people watched the unfolding events with a mix of awe and disbelief. Social media platforms, powered by makeshift generators and hacked satellite feeds, buzzed with updates from the front lines. Videos of the mysterious ship weaving through enemy fire spread like wildfire, racking up millions of views within minutes. Memes dubbed it the Guardian, or Earth's Last Hope. Conspiracy theories ran rampant, with some claiming it was built by secret government agencies, while others believed it was evidence of ancient alien contact. In New York City, a young woman named Maya sat huddled in her apartment, clutching her phone as she scrolled through endless posts. Her heart raced with every new clip showing the ship taking down another wave of Zorathian fighters. She had always dreamed of space exploration, imagining what it would be like to meet intelligent life beyond Earth. Never in her wildest dreams did she expect aliens to arrive as conquerors, or for humanity to have a defender capable of holding them off. "It's beautiful," Maya whispered to herself, staring at a video of the ship firing beams of light that cut through the darkness like swords. But where did it come from? Her question echoed across the globe. Governments scrambled to explain the ship's origin, but none could provide answers. Military officials denied any knowledge of its existence, while scientists speculated about reverse-engineered alien tech or experimental projects buried deep in classified files. Whatever the truth was, it remained hidden, for now. Back in orbit, the Sentinel continued its relentless assault. Though vastly outnumbered, it moved with a grace and efficiency that left even the most seasoned Zorathian pilots baffled. Every maneuver seemed calculated, every shot perfectly timed. The AI controlling the ship analyzed data in real time, adapting its strategies to counter the enemy's tactics. It didn't feel fear or fatigue, it didn't hesitate. It simply executed its programming: protect Earth at all costs. As the battle raged on, Admiral Vrax decided to change his approach. Enough with small-scale skirmishes, they needed to overwhelm the ship with sheer numbers. Gathering every available fighter and cruiser, he launched a coordinated attack aimed at destroying the Sentinel once and for all. The plan was simple: surround the ship from all sides and bombard it until its defenses collapsed. The resulting clash lit up Earth's sky like a cosmic fireworks display. Explosions erupted across space as energy beams crisscrossed and missiles detonated in fiery bursts. The Sentinel danced between volleys of plasma fire, its sleek hull reflecting the chaos around it. Despite the overwhelming odds, it refused to falter. Instead, it turned the tide of the battle in its favor. Using advanced targeting systems, the Sentinel identified weaknesses in the Zorathian formation and exploited them mercilessly. The battle above Earth's atmosphere raged on, a chaotic dance of light and destruction. The Sentinel, humanity's mysterious defender, continued to defy the odds, weaving through waves of Zorathian fighters with unmatched precision. Its glowing cannons fired beams of energy that tore through enemy ships like paper, leaving trails of burning debris in its wake. Yet despite its success, questions lingered, not just among the Zorathians, but also on Earth itself. Who had built this ship? Why had it waited so long to reveal itself? And could it truly withstand the full might of an alien empire? For Admiral Vrax, leader of the Zorathian fleet, these questions gnawed at his mind. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was deeply wrong. This wasn't just a random act of resistance, it felt deliberate, almost calculated. Every move the Sentinel made seemed to anticipate his strategies before he even executed them. It was as if the ship knew exactly how the Zorathians thought and fought. This isn't natural, Vrax muttered to himself, staring at the holographic display of the battlefield. His claws clenched tightly around the edge of the console as he watched the Sentinel destroy yet another wave of fighters. No primitive species should be able to develop technology like this. Commander Trelk, standing nearby, nodded nervously. Sir, perhaps we're dealing with more than just humans. Could they have allies? Or maybe stolen tech? Vrax turned sharply, his golden eyes narrowing. Stolen tech? He repeated, his voice dripping with skepticism. From whom? There are no other advanced civilizations in this sector of the galaxy. Unless... His voice trailed off as a troubling thought crossed his mind. What if the humans weren't acting alone? What if someone or something was helping them? Before he could dwell further on the idea, alarms blared across the bridge. A new threat had emerged, or rather, an old one had returned. The Sentinel had broken through the Zorathian blockade and was now heading straight for the flagship. Target it! Vrax roared, slamming his fist onto the control panel. Fire everything we've got. Energy beams lashed out from the flagship's weapons, arrays converging on the lone ship. But the Sentinel moved faster than anyone expected, dodging each attack with ease. Then, in a move that stunned everyone on the bridge, it unleashed a massive pulse of energy, a weapon unlike anything the Zorathians had ever seen. The blast struck the flagship's shields, causing them to flicker and weaken dangerously close, to collapse. Shields at 40%, shouted one of the crew members, panic rising in their voice. We can't take another hit like that. Vrax gritted his teeth, realizing the gravity of the situation. This ship wasn't just powerful, it was intelligent. Whatever or whoever was controlling it understood warfare at a level far beyond what the Zorathians were prepared for. For the first time in his career, Vrax felt fear creeping into his chest. While the battle unfolded in space, back on Earth, scientists and military leaders worked tirelessly to uncover the truth about the Sentinel. Rumors had spread quickly after the ship's appearance, with theories ranging from government experiments to ancient alien relics. But none of those explanations held up under scrutiny. That's when a group of researchers stumbled upon something, buried deep in classified archives, a project codenamed Stellar Sentinel. Dr. Elena Morales, a physicist specializing in extraterrestrial technology, led the team investigating the files. Her hands trembled slightly as she scrolled through decades-old documents, piecing together fragments of information that revealed a shocking secret. During the Cold War, several nations had secretly collaborated on a top-secret initiative designed to defend Earth against potential extraterrestrial threats. Using reverse-engineered alien tech recovered from crashed spacecraft over the years, they constructed a single prototype warship capable of adapting to any adversary. The Sentinel wasn't built by humans alone, Dr. Morales explained to her colleagues during a late-night briefing. It's powered by AI, an artificial intelligence programmed to learn and evolve based on real-time data. That's why it's so effective against the Zorathians. It's not just reacting, it's predicting their moves. But where has it been all this time? Asked General Thomas Carter, a grizzled military officer overseeing the operation. Why didn't anyone know about it until now? Dr. Morales hesitated before answering. It was hidden, buried beneath layers of ice in Antarctica, waiting for activation. Sensors embedded in Earth's crust detected the Zorathian fleet entering orbit and triggered the Sentinel automatically. It's been operating independently ever since. General Carter rubbed his temples, trying to process the enormity of what he'd just heard. So you're telling me this thing doesn't answer? To anyone? Not even us? That's correct, Dr. Morales replied. Its primary directive is to protect Earth regardless of who's giving orders. Once activated, it operates autonomously. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity had created a weapon so advanced it functioned without human oversight, a double-edged sword that could save them or spiral out of control. Still, there was no denying its effectiveness. Footage of the Sentinel decimating Zorathian forces continued to circulate online, inspiring hope among billions of people worldwide. As news of the Sentinel's origins began to leak, public opinion shifted dramatically. People once terrified of the invasion now rallied behind their mysterious defender, dubbing it Earth's guardian angel. Social media exploded with hashtags like Banner, Thank You Sentinel, and Dar, Hope in Space, while protests demanding more transparency from world governments gained momentum. For the first time in history, humanity felt united, not divided by borders or ideologies, but bound together by a shared struggle for survival. Maya, the young woman from New York City, became one of the movement's most vocal supporters. She started live streaming updates on the battle, using her platform to educate others about the Sentinel and encourage donations to relief efforts for those affected by the invasion. Her videos went viral, earning millions of views and sparking conversations about humanity's place in the universe. It's amazing, isn't it? Maya said during one live stream, pointing to a clip of the Sentinel destroying a Zorathian cruiser. This proves we're capable of incredible things when we work together. Imagine what else we could achieve if we stopped fighting each other and focused on protecting our planet. Her words resonated deeply with viewers, many of whom left comments expressing gratitude and optimism. Even skeptics found themselves drawn to the idea of unity in the face of adversity. Slowly but surely, fear gave way to determination. Despite the growing support, the Sentinel faced mounting challenges. Each engagement with the Zorathians pushed it closer to its limits. Its shields weakened with every hit, and its ammunition reserves dwindled rapidly. Though it continued to fight with relentless efficiency, cracks were beginning to show. The AI core, though advanced, wasn't invincible. If the Zorathians kept pressing their advantage, the Sentinel might eventually fall. But just when it seemed, all hope was lost. Reinforcements arrived, from somewhere completely unexpected. Out of nowhere, a fleet of sleek angular ships materialized near the battlefield. Their surfaces glowed faintly, casting an ethereal light across the void of space. Unlike the bulky designs of the Zorathian vessels, these newcomers exuded elegance and power. They identified themselves as representatives of the Guardians of the Cosmos, a coalition dedicated to protecting weaker species from aggressive empires like the Zorathians. "We've been monitoring your conflict," said a voice transmitted directly into the minds of everyone present. "Your courage has impressed us humans. You may join our alliance if you choose." Admiral Vrax froze as he listened to the message. Fear gripped him tighter than ever before. The Guardians were legendary throughout the galaxy, known for their strength and impartiality. To cross paths with them meant certain doom for the Zorathians. With no other options left, Vrax issued a desperate order: retreat. The Zorathian fleet fled in disarray, abandoning their mission to conquer Earth. As they disappeared into the depths of space, the Sentinel hovered silently, its job done, for now. Back on Earth, celebrations erupted. People poured into streets, cheering and embracing strangers as tears of joy streamed down their faces. For the first time in days, the sky cleared, revealing stars untouched by war. Humanity had survived, but it would never be the same again. And high above, the Sentinel returned to its icy sanctuary, awaiting the next crisis, silent, vigilant, and ready to defend its creators whenever called upon. The arrival of the Guardians of the Cosmos changed everything. For weeks, humanity had been on the brink of collapse, clinging to hope as the Sentinel fought tirelessly against an overwhelming enemy. Now, with the mysterious coalition stepping in, the balance of power shifted dramatically. The Zorathians, once confident in their superiority, found themselves outmatched and outnumbered. Their retreat was chaotic, marked by panic-stricken commands and desperate attempts to regroup. Admiral Vrax watched helplessly from his flagship as the Guardians' sleek ships surrounded his fleet, cutting off escape routes and disabling engines with precision strikes. On Earth, people gathered around screens, whether powered by makeshift generators or solar panels, to witness the final moments of the battle. Footage streamed live showed the Guardians' ships gliding effortlessly through space, their glowing hulls reflecting bursts of energy from dying Zorathian cruisers. It was a sight that defied belief. Just hours earlier, humanity had faced annihilation. Now they were being saved by beings whose existence they hadn't even imagined. In New York City, Maya sat cross-legged on her living room floor, her phone propped up against a stack of books. Her eyes were wide with awe as she watched the Guardians dismantle the Zorathian fleet piece by piece. She whispered to herself, "They're real. Aliens are real." Tears welled up in her eyes. Not tears of fear this time, but of gratitude and wonder. This wasn't just about survival anymore. It was proof that humanity wasn't alone in the universe. There were others out there willing to protect them. For Admiral Vrax, the situation was unbearable. He had spent decades leading campaigns across the galaxy, conquering worlds and expanding the Zorathian Empire's reach. Never before had he tasted defeat, and certainly not like this. The Guardians' intervention felt personal, almost mocking. Their ships moved with such effortless grace, their weapons so advanced that the Zorathians couldn't even mount a counterattack. Every attempt to break free ended in failure. Every shot fired deflected harmlessly into space. "Sir," shouted Commander Trelk, his voice trembling, "our shields are failing. We can't hold out much longer." Vrax clenched his claws tightly, his mind racing for a solution. Retreat was unthinkable. It would mean admitting weakness to both the Guardians and the humans. Yet staying meant certain destruction. His pride warred with his survival instincts, each thought pulling him in opposite directions. Finally, with a growl of frustration, he made his decision. "Signal all remaining ships," Vrax ordered, his voice heavy with resignation. "Prepare for emergency warp jump. We're leaving." Trelk hesitated, stunned by the order. "Are you sure, sir? If we leave now, we'll lose everything. The mission, our reputation." "We've already lost," Vrax snapped, his golden eyes blazing with anger. "If we stay, we'll lose more than that. Issue the command, Commander." Moments later, the Zorathian fleet activated their warp drives, vanishing one by one into streaks of light. Within minutes, the battlefield was empty save for the Guardian ships and the Sentinel, which hovered silently amidst the wreckage. The threat was over, for now. Back on Earth, celebrations erupted worldwide. Cities lit up again, their streets filled with cheering crowds holding makeshift signs that read, "Thank you, Guardians," and "Earth is not alone." Fireworks exploded in the night sky, painting colorful patterns over landmarks like the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty, and the Great Wall of China. People danced, sang, and embraced strangers, united by a shared sense of relief and triumph. But behind the scenes, world leaders scrambled to make sense of what had happened. Emergency meetings were held in secret bunkers and underground facilities, where generals, scientists, and politicians debated humanity's next steps. The Guardians had offered Earth membership in their alliance, a chance to step onto the galactic stage as equals, but accepting came with risks. Joining an interstellar coalition meant exposing humanity's vulnerabilities to countless other species, some of whom might not share the Guardians' noble intentions. Dr. Elena Morales, who had uncovered the truth about the Sentinel, found herself at the center of these discussions. Armed with data from the Sentinel's AI core, she presented a compelling case for cooperation. "The Guardians aren't just offering protection," she explained during a tense briefing. "They're giving us access to knowledge, technology, and resources beyond anything we've ever dreamed of. This is our chance to evolve, to become something greater. General Thomas Carter, however, remained skeptical. And what happens if we join and find ourselves targeted by another empire? Or worse, what if the Guardians turn on us? We don't know enough about them to trust them completely. The debate raged late into the night with no clear consensus emerging. Ultimately, the decision would rest with the United Nations, which convened an emergency session to discuss the offer. Representatives from every nation weighed the pros and cons, knowing that whatever choice they made would shape humanity's future forever. Meanwhile, high above the planet, the Guardians communicated directly with the Sentinel's AI core. Their message was simple, yet profound. You have proven yourselves worthy. Humanity has shown courage and ingenuity. Together, we can ensure peace in the galaxy. The AI processed the information, analyzing the Guardians' motives and assessing potential risks. Though its programming prioritized Earth's defense, it recognized the value of forming alliances. After several seconds of calculation, it transmitted a response. Acknowledged. Humanity accepts your offer. With that exchange, a new chapter began, not just for Earth, but for the entire galaxy. The Guardians departed shortly afterward, leaving behind a single representative to guide humanity through the transition. Known as Ambassador Kale, this being resembled nothing humans had ever seen before. Its translucent form shimmered with iridescent colors, shifting constantly like liquid light. When it spoke, its voice resonated not just in ears but in minds, conveying emotions and ideas simultaneously. The road ahead will not be easy, Kale told the assembled leaders during their first meeting. There are challenges waiting for you among the stars, dangers you cannot yet comprehend, but you are not alone. We are here to help you navigate this vast and complex universe. Though many questions remained unanswered, humanity took its first tentative steps toward becoming a galactic civilization. Scientists worked alongside Guardian engineers to develop faster-than-light travel, while diplomats forged relationships with neighboring species. Slowly but surely, Earth transformed from a frightened backwater planet into a beacon of hope and resilience. As days turned into weeks, life on Earth began to stabilize. Power grids were restored, cities rebuilt, and economies revived. People returned to work, schools reopened, and communities came together stronger than ever before. Yet reminders of the invasion lingered everywhere, from the craters left by falling debris to the memorials honoring those who had died defending their homes. Maya continued her live streams, sharing updates on humanity's progress and interviewing experts about the Guardians and their mission. Her audience grew exponentially, with viewers tuning in from every corner of the globe. One evening, as she wrapped up a particularly inspiring segment, she looked directly into the camera and said, "This isn't the end of our story, it's just the beginning. For the first time, we're part of something bigger than ourselves, and I believe we're ready for it." Her words echoed across millions of screens, igniting a spark of optimism in hearts around the world. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged victorious, not because of superior strength or technology, but because of courage, unity, and the willingness to adapt. The Sentinel, now resting quietly in its icy sanctuary, stood as a symbol of that triumph, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, hope could shine through. Above it all, the stars twinkled brightly, inviting humanity to explore the mysteries they held. The journey ahead would be long and difficult, but for the first time in history, Earth was ready to take that step forward, to leave behind its fears and embrace the infinite possibilities of the cosmos. The days following the Zorathian retreat were filled with both celebration and reflection. Humanity had survived its first encounter with an alien empire, thanks to the mysterious Sentinel and the timely intervention of the Guardians of the Cosmos. But survival was only the beginning. The invasion had left deep scars, physical, emotional, and societal, that would take years, if not decades, to heal. Entire cities lay in ruins, economies struggled to recover, and millions mourned loved ones lost during the conflict. Yet amidst the pain there was also hope. For the first time, humanity realized it wasn't alone in the universe, and that knowledge changed everything. Ambassador Kale, the shimmering representative of the Guardians, became a familiar presence on Earth. Through holographic broadcasts and diplomatic meetings, Kale explained the purpose of the Guardians' alliance: to maintain peace among star-faring civilizations and protect weaker species from aggressive empires like the Zorathians. "Your courage has earned you a place among us," Kale said during one address to the United Nations. "But membership comes with responsibility. You must learn to coexist with others, to respect their differences and to contribute to the greater good." At first, many humans found it difficult to grasp the enormity of what Kyle was saying. How could they, a species still grappling with internal divisions, suddenly step onto the galactic stage as equals? Skeptics argued that humanity wasn't ready for such a leap, while optimists believed this was exactly what Earth needed to overcome its flaws. Slowly but surely, progress began to take shape. Scientists worked tirelessly alongside Guardian engineers to unlock the secrets of faster-than-light travel. Using data provided by the Sentinel's AI core, researchers developed new propulsion systems capable of bending space-time. These breakthroughs allowed humanity to venture beyond its solar system for the first time, sending exploratory missions to nearby star systems. Each discovery brought fresh excitement and challenges. Alien ecosystems, strange phenomena, and remnants of ancient civilizations tested humanity's adaptability and ingenuity. Back on Earth, governments abandoned secrecy and embraced transparency. Decades of classified projects related to extraterrestrial research were declassified, revealing hidden truths about crashed UFOs, reverse-engineered technology, and even attempts to communicate with intelligent life. Public reaction ranged from shock to fascination, but ultimately, people welcomed the openness. It marked a turning point in human history, a shift toward unity and collaboration. Education systems adapted quickly to prepare future generations for life among the stars. Schools introduced courses on xenobiology, interstellar diplomacy, and universal ethics. Universities partnered with Guardian institutions to train specialists in fields previously unimaginable. Young minds absorbed this knowledge eagerly, dreaming of careers as diplomats, scientists, or explorers. Among them was Maya, who had traded her live-streaming hobby for a degree in astrophysics. Inspired by the Sentinel and the Guardians, she dedicated herself to understanding the mysteries of the universe. The Sentinel, meanwhile, returned to its icy sanctuary beneath Antarctica. Though no longer actively engaged in combat, its AI core remained vigilant, constantly analyzing data and preparing for potential threats. Scientists visited regularly to study its design and programming, hoping to replicate its capabilities for future defense systems. Despite their efforts, however, the Sentinel retained an air of mystery. Its origins, though partially explained by Dr. Morales' research, still contained unanswered questions. Some speculated that fragments of alien consciousness might be embedded within its AI, guiding its actions in ways humans couldn't fully comprehend. For many, the Sentinel became more than just a machine. It became a symbol of resilience and innovation. Museums around the world featured exhibits dedicated to its role in saving Earth, complete with scale models, interactive displays, and personal stories from those who had witnessed its heroics firsthand. Books, documentaries, and films chronicled its battles against the Zorathians, ensuring that its legacy would endure for generations to come. As humanity adapted to its new reality, relationships with other species began to form. Trade agreements were established with peaceful alien races, exchanging goods, knowledge, and cultural insights. Humans marveled at the diversity of life across the galaxy, from insectoid beings capable of photosynthesis to aquatic creatures, communicating through bioluminescent patterns. These interactions challenged preconceived notions about intelligence and cooperation, forcing humanity to confront its own biases and assumptions. Not all encounters were positive, however. Some species viewed humans with suspicion, wary of their rapid technological advancements and unpredictable behavior. Others saw opportunity, attempting to exploit Earth's resources or manipulate its leaders. Navigating these complexities required patience, diplomacy, and a willingness to learn. Mistakes were made along the way, but each misstep taught valuable lessons about trust and mutual respect. Through it all, Ambassador Kale served as a guide, offering advice and mediating disputes when tensions arose. Though enigmatic and often cryptic, Kale's wisdom proved invaluable. "You are young," Kale told humanity during one memorable speech, "and youth is both a strength and a vulnerability. Embrace your curiosity, but temper it with caution. The galaxy is vast, and not all paths lead to safety." Years passed and humanity's place in the cosmos solidified. Earth joined the Galactic Council, a governing body overseeing interstellar relations and resolving conflicts between member species. Representatives from nations around the globe took turns serving on the council, learning to balance their interests with those of other civilizations. It was a steep learning curve, but humanity rose to the challenge, earning respect and admiration from allies old and new. The Zorathians, once feared conquerors, faded into obscurity after their defeat. Rumors suggested they had retreated to the farthest reaches of the galaxy, licking their wounds and plotting revenge. But for now, they posed no immediate threat. Humanity remained vigilant, knowing that peace was fragile and vigilance essential. On quiet nights, Maya often gazed up at the stars, wondering what adventures awaited humanity in the future. She thought about the Sentinel, buried deep beneath the ice, standing guard over a planet it had saved. And she thought about the Guardians, whose arrival had changed everything. In her heart she felt gratitude, not just for their protection but for the opportunity to grow, to explore, and to become something greater. In bars and classrooms across the galaxy, stories of the Sentinel and its battle against the Zorathians were told again and again. To some, it was a tale of bravery and ingenuity. To others, it was a lesson about the power of unity and hope. But to everyone, it was a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, humanity could rise to meet the challenge. And so, as Earth stepped boldly into the stars, it carried with it the lessons of its past, the scars of war, the triumphs of survival, and the promise of a brighter future. The Sentinel may have been silent, but its legacy burned brightly, inspiring generations to dream big and reach far. For humanity, the journey was just beginning.